So
okay, drinking game. Every time Boris says get Brexit done,
occasionally,
dither and delay,
this debate is fair,
oven ready,
and to make sure that we do make progress through all the questions
drink.
we want to get through. Now, both leaders are going to make opening and closing. Mr. Johnson, would you like to make your opening statement, please?
On Thursday next week, this country reaches a turning point. We can get Brexit done, we can end the paralysis, we can transform our country with massive investments in health. Let's give that nightmare a miss. Let's end the chaos, the deadlock. Let's get Brexit done with a one-nation Conservative government and take this country forwards.
Boris Johnson, thank you very much indeed. Well,
I have the utmost respect, of course, for all former Conservative leaders and don't wish to deprecate anybody as I has been, but I don't think he's right. And we have a fantastic plan to get Brexit done. It's a deal that's ready to go. It's oven ready. We can get it done by Christmas, get it back into Parliament by Christmas, as we have a majority Conservative government. And unlike Mr. Well, I hope very much that people will vote for a one-nation Conservative government and get Brexit done. And I think, if you look at our agenda, it's positive, it's progressive, it will unite the country, involve massive investment in public services and take us forward.
Boris Johnson.
Well, I share the frustration of both our questions about the length of time it's taken to get Brexit done. And what we can do with the deal that we have is get it done by January the 31st and come out. And then to get to the question on the Labour front bench is campaigning to remain, apart from Mr. Corbyn, who's neutral on the matter, who is going to... On the contrary, we have a fantastic deal. It is there, ready to go. And
not on trade, forgive me.
What our deal allows is for... The beauty of this deal is that it gets Brexit done, gets it out of Parliament, stops the wrangling, stops the chaos, and moves us forward.
Thank you very much. Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn.
Boris Johnson's going to spend years negotiating with the USA. He's going to spend years ruining the fact he didn't reach a proper agreement with the EU.
Have a strong economy is if we move this country forward and get Brexit done. And I'll just remind you of one report that came out the other day. There is £150 billion worth of investment waiting to come into this country if we can get my deal across the line. Now, what would this country...
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
That was not a single. That wasn't a triple.
Forgive me interrupting. I'm keeping a very close eye on the time, and you've had rather a lot, Mr. Johnson. Corbyn needs to catch up.
That the Conservatives and Liberal Democrats passed a Health and Social Care Act after 2010.
Because we believe passionately in the NHS, and the way to take this country forward, the way to get it moving, is to get rid of the blockade in Parliament, get Brexit done, and move on.
There are 43,000
one-nation majority Conservative government.
Let me just ask you, Mr.
There are 43,000 nurse vacancies. That's the fact.
Understood. Now, you sent an email on behalf of the Labour Party saying, imagine opening a 5-figure bill for your cancer treatment. Do you accept that is totally misleading?
I thought
there is
that
no possibility of anybody having NHS cancer treatment and having to pay a 5-figure
If you end up with a privatised service, that's what you get. If you end up with that US trade deal, has raised the living standards of the very poorest. And it was the post-war Labour government that did massively to improve the living standards of the poorest working class.
Putting up taxes for everybody, we would get our country moving forwards again by getting Brexit done. And the economic drag anchor of Brexit on this country should not be underestimated. It is stopping investment. It means that people are uncertain about making purchases, about taking on new jobs.
What Conservative governments always do is look after the very richest within our society.
The acrimony is a function of our inability to get Brexit done.
Understood, but on this specific point of Islamophobia that we
can do it, and we will. And we can be out on January the 31st and end what I think is misery for the country.
On the specific point about Islamophobia, and then I'm going to turn to Mr. Corbyn on anti-Semitism. You say people come out at first bounce, but you have candidates who have retweeted Tommy Robinson talking about, quotes, Muslim paedophiles, and a former chair of the Conservative Party says we have a serious and deep problem with Islamophobia.
Yeah, sorry. Very, very quickly, with all those. We can choose another hung parliament under Mr. Corbyn and Nicola Sturgeon with 2 chaotic referendums, or else we can get Brexit done, get out of neutral, and get a parliament that works for you and on your priorities. The NHS, the cost of living, 20,000 more police, more cash for our schools. Let's get it done. Let's move on and vote Conservative on Thursday.
Thank you, Boris Johnson. Thank you, Jeremy Corbyn. Now, the debate is far from over. It's raging on social media. #BBC Debate. It's starting now on 5 Live.